And I love working in the garden. It's one of my most passionate things to be able to do. But if you live with a very small garage or a small shed and you don't have a place for specialty tools, and it's funny, manufacturers of tools want you to buy an individual hoe, an individual spade, a separate rake, a cultivator. They want you to buy all these pieces. Well, this is kind of brilliant. This piece of equipment replaces at least 5 different other tools, but when I started counting it up, it was more like 8. This is high carbon steel. It uses 2 different configurations, and I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this up. You just loosen this peg up, and now you can swivel this to whatever direction you want. So now I've got a sharp edging blade, and then I also have what is the equivalent of a rake. But now I can use this for chopping, for weeding, for hoeing, for aerating. It does so much. And then it's got a reinforced fiberglass pole to it, which is nice and long, so that I can use this for weeding, flip it over, and do the raking and aerating. I like this design. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not usually a fan of things that do multiple things. I always say, hey, it's a waffle iron and a curling iron, and it doesn't do either one well. This does all your farming needs very well. I want to introduce you to the representative who brings it to us. And Janine, I think I might be the first person to show this on TV. Am I not? Wonderful.
You are, Dan. I'll tell you what, I'm super excited about the Yard X for all the reasons you just mentioned. This is a 5-in-1 tool, taking place of all those tools I have there in the background, Dan, that sometimes they just get in the way. You're not walking back and forth to your shed or your garage now, wherever you store your tools, if you even have somewhere to store all those tools. This is going to get the job done. So as you mentioned, you have that blade at the top that's going to get a lot of the work done. But we have a 180-degree motion on here that is going to allow you to move it to, now you want to make it a rake, or you want to smooth, or you want to aerate and chop. You can do all of that. You can come back just for aeration. But then if you want to put it on a 45-degree angle to scrape, you can do that, all with tightening a knob and loosening. That's all you have to do. I'm going to put it in the position that I need right now because I want to get to work and show you how awesome this tool really is. And Dan, it only weighs about 3 pounds, was invented by a landscaper to get the job done easier with less tools and less wasted time. And you have a built-in hook right here, or you can just stand it up when you have it in that one position. But here, I'm going to show you. Right here, I have weeds in my bed, okay? Can't stand weeds, can't stand bending down to get them. I'm going to use my rounded blade, and I'm just going to get in there, okay? And I'm going to get my weeds, flip it over just to rake them into a nice little pile that I have here, Dan. Just getting all those weeds when you need to get them. Now, after I do that, see that rounded edge comes in handy because now I'm going to be able to use it as a hoe, get in there, and I can even make a furrow in the soil. I've got some beautiful Barb King bulbs here in my pot right here that I'm getting out.
Okay.
I want to be able to plant my bulbs. I just made a furrow to get them down in there. Dan, I don't even have to get out a spade because I'm just using that rounded edge and I'm just covering them with the soil. Once I do that, let's not forget something else. You even said you could think of 8 reasons to use this.
At least. In
Here's
fact, I'm starting to add them up. It's more than that. I think it might be 10. Because it does work as a hoe and a slicer. You're also going to be able to use it as a rake and to smooth out. You'll be able to scrape and cut with this. This blade will only get sharper. It's also an edger and a chopper. By the way, I remember my dad on his knees with a hatchet going along the edge of the sidewalk to get that perfect border. Now you do it up here, and it already loosens and aerates. You had said only 3 pounds. I want to make a point here. A lot of lawn and garden tools lately are too lightweight. I don't know why manufacturers are under the opinion that people don't want some heavier, substantial tools, but a 3-pound tool is heavy enough to get the job done, especially if it's going to be when you're working with some force, like when you're chopping or edging or trying to cut through grass or heavy weeds. It's a well-designed piece of equipment. And yes,
really
it's a
is.
little more expensive. There's still a lot of plastic involved in gardening tools. No, this thing is high carbon steel. You buy it once and you've got it for a lifetime.
You know, Dan, does anything look better than a professional edging when you're out in the garden having that beautiful flower bed? Nothing looks better. So with that sharp edge, I was able to cut down into. I'm standing here, and I have I have a piece of sod to show you,
Right?
and
Yeah.
I'm able to get deep down in there and check that out. I mean, it takes it right off. It's just, I mean, it's one of these tools that you're going to go back to and use constantly in your garden. You're going to find so many different uses for it. Dan, I'm going to turn this around again. I'm going
Okay.
to reposition this
Uh,
and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put it on this 45-degree angle.
Well,
I'm going to be
the
able to
angle
scrape
also
now.
helps. We're all different heights. You know, I'm
Absolutely.
not 6 feet. I'm 5'8". Well, 5'8.5" with those shoes I bought in that catalog. Okay, and my wife's 5'4". So the fact that you can adjust this blade to a myriad of angles works for different people at different heights. It's beautifully engineered. Janine,
It really
that's
gets
a
the job
solid
done, Dan.
tool, and I'll give you my personal endorsement. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm glad. And listen, I know you're always out in the yard doing all your farming. So thanks so much, Dan. I think everyone will love it too.
Thanks,
for
Janine.
having me.
All right. I am so excited.